All right, welcome to Never a Dull Moment. It's another episode of Whetstone Wars. This is Never a Dull Moment Kitchen Stadium. We have got all these battles set up. I don't even know if you can kind of see them to the side, but we have picked out so many battles over the coming year. They're actually pretty epic. We have companies like Naniwa. We have, Nanohone, King, Japanese natural stones. We have the Morihei. We just went out and got we've got Diamond versus CBN. We got Diamond versus some natural mix. We've got natural mix versus natural mix. We got Diamond versus CBN. We got every kind of grit going up to 12,000. It's crazy. But today on Whetstone Wars, we have two heavy hitters. We got Shapton versus Nanohone. What's up? Something a little different today. We got the Battle 200, Battle 220. We got the Shapton 220 versus the Nanohone 200. Now, if you guys don't know anything about these companies, the Nanohone, I did a review. I'll put a link in the description and I'll put one above. The Nanohone is like the American version. It's the Cadillac. I was very impressed with the stones. Shapton, you guys know it, you love it. It's been a people's champion forever. It's hard to, I've been using Shapton for a minute. If I needed a 200 grit stone, a 220 to reshape a knife, I've been using it. So I have not really gotten into the 200 on the Nanohone. Both of them have already been flattened, ready to go. They're both soaking stones. So let's get into the tail of the tape. We have the Shapton is going to be 210 millimeter wide versus 210 millimeter wide. This one's 70 millimeter versus the Nanohone 75 millimeter wide. Okay, so wait a minute. So I meant to say 210 millimeter long, 70 millimeter wide by 75 millimeter wide. But we've got 15 millimeter thick versus 10 millimeter thick. All right, so you give up 5 millimeter on the width, but you gain 5 millimeter on the thickness. And I think the thickness is where you'd really kind of want it as far as wear and tear. If they both wore evenly, and both of these are hard stones, supposed to give you a long life, but if they both wore evenly, the Shapton's going to last you longer. But here's another heavy point to point out. $14 cheaper for the Shapton. Okay, so we're right now it's 51, normally around 54. So to be fair, it's about $10 cheaper on average, even though there's some sales going on. I saw so you got $10 cheaper. The Nanohone comes with these amazing aluminum anodized backs, so that's just really kind of a unique feature that you don't have. It does fit into a special holder. So even though it goes on the regular stone holders, you can get a special holder that these holes fit and make it uber secure. That's a separate purchase. By the way, I had gotten the Nanohone from Tokushu Knife. So I know that you can get the stone holder from them as well. The Shapton I generally get from sharpeningsupplies.com. And so I went online, checked in everything. So we got at least $10 cheaper. We got 5 millimeters thicker, and the box itself comes as a stone holder. So you can actually use it as a stone holder if you don't have the stone holder. Okay, and it's even aerated on the back.
And grippy feet.
It's got some grippy feet, but it's aerated on the back. My wife pointed that out. It's got grippy feet. So if you didn't have any of these, it comes with its own in the box. So you save $10, 5 millimeters thick. It's a top name. So right off the bat, you kind of have to give the edge going into the whole fight, for Shapton. It's just, so we're all about performance. So how do you judge a 200, Battle 200, Battle 220? So we need to throw some thoughts out there. So we know that everyone is not true to grit, meaning not every 1,000 grit's the same as another 1,000 grit. So even though the Nanohone is 200 and the Shapton is 220, that's close enough. Okay, I'm sorry. In theory, this one would be rougher by so much the human body couldn't even tell. But the way we normally do this, and I'm going to put this out there for you guys who don't know. We get a lot of comments that we should, part of the test, put the edge on leather. Now, in the in the upcoming competitions, what our rule of thumb is, we want to show you what the stone by itself can do. Not all of you have leather. You might be using an old belt. You might be using denim, you know, some pair of jeans. But not all of you have leather. So if you bought the stone, what would the stone do? Well, 220 is going to leave you pretty rough. So I definitely have agreed that for today, especially for this, that we should use a neutral strop to take away the super rough edge that we're going to get from Battle 200. Okay, so we are going to use two Mortataka 210 millimeter super blue Awagami Super Gyuto, which is given to us by our sponsor, a Tokashu knife. We appreciate Tony had given those. We've been using them in battles. By the time you guys see this video, you'll have seen that my son and I sharpened these knives last week. And my son and I are not the same person. So even though he sharpened his, they are they're not necessarily at the same angle. So we're going to reshape the knife today with Battle 200, take it back down, and make sure it's going to be sharpened by me. So we're going to do what we can with the knife on a 200. We're going to go from here to leather. Then we're going to check out the performance on just a 200 grit. That's crazy. But that's what we are. We're crazy. I mean, that's what we do. You know what I mean? So this has always been my go-to. This is going to be new to me, so I'm super excited. Let's get into it. Okay, so we've got to dull some knives, and as our tradition, we have the Amakusa. So, and by the way, you know what? Let me just show you guys something real fast. Let me show you. I don't like pre-dull these knives or something like that. These knives, like, it's sharp, right? So let's go over here. Okay, so, and this is one of the reasons we're redoing this, is that my son and I each sharpened the knives and we wanted to make them even. But they're not like pre-dulled. Okay, so we're going to go through the painful process of losing the edge that we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay. It is done. Let's prove it. Save that for later. All right, so to start this battle, we're going to go on this side. We're going to go with the Shapton. These are, like I said, this is a soaking stone. This is a splash and go. So it is ready to go. We are going to splash. Now, this should sound like asphalt. This should have like a sound that is like not amazing. My wife, if you didn't hear, said it didn't sound that bad. And we've heard definitely worse from the King. And as you would expect, that side is done. We know this is going to be fast today. It's a 200, it's a 220. All right, couple of edge leading strokes. I tell you what, if you had like knives with chips in them, this is your professional's best friend. Okay, so some of the edge leading will help. Yeah, that'll help to take away some metal off the edge. Okay, what is that?
Do you need me to get your towel?
I've got plenty. I've got towels all over the place. Got these things stashed behind me. So we're gonna leave it like this until we get into the stropping. All right. So we're going to head on over to this 200 grit. All right, so we need to go ahead and it's splash and go. So this is much quieter. So technically it's a rougher stone because it's 200, even though it sounds less rough than the Shapton, which is ranked at the 220. Now, for those of you who are new to knife sharpening, checking out the battle today, you would not take your normal knife and cut your time down by putting it on the 200. You're taking away knife. You're taking away the 20 years you want to have with the knife. You're doing something this rough because the knife's just truly dull. Obviously, that wasn't really the case today, and we could have started on a 1000. Definitely noticeably quieter in the sound. I would say it's a little dirtier. Mm-hmm. That would suggest that it's cutting more. Okay, so edge leading strokes. Okay, so we have two knives sharpened pretty raw. The edge had the burr made and flipped back and forth. Some edge leading strokes to try to remove some of it. So now...
Are we going to test it before we do that?
No. Okay. My wife wants to know, are we going to test this before...
We traditionally do.
You know, but traditionally we don't do any leather. So we're going to see how sharp we got a knife. So this knife, we haven't shown you the Shapton yet. We're going to see the Nanohone sharpened and just some edge leading strokes. I have no expectations of what's about to happen right now. Normally you go 400,000, you know.
Okay.
And I have to say that's pretty quiet. I mean, it pushed.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
So I, Gregory Blythe, sharpened this knife on just a 200 grit stone and did, passes on each side, edge leading strokes. This is the Shapton.
How does that one sound louder to me?
It's louder. My wife noticed it really quick. I would tell you from the feel.
I'm kind of shocked there.
I mean, I would tell you personally that the 200, which is technically rougher, it had like it's quieter and had like a less of a rough feel. But I mean, you know, part of me is like, they're supposed to be rough. I mean, I didn't even know I could cut paper with. And I can tell you that the more I'm cutting, the smoother this is getting. It's almost as if there was like little teeth that were on there, and the paper, yeah, the paper stopped it. I literally felt my nail. Like my nail saved my life. My nail just saved my life. Okay. Okay. So.
Now to the leather.
So let's go over here. You want to? Okay, so we are going to make sure this is clean. We're dealing with the Shapton right now. So this block is available on Tokoshu. It was a gift from Tony. It is coated with 1 micron diamond coating. It does have underneath some like rubber stamping. I have it in a stone holder just to get it elevated today. So sometimes I start at the heel to go to the toe. Sometimes I start at the toe and do a little J hook, come up. I found that if I just go up, the point might dig in. So you just kind of slide that way. You can do it this way if you want to come across. So because these knives have a Rockwell hardness above 61, like 61 and above, you want to strop at the same angle you sharpened. So I'm really giving this the opportunity to clean the edge, to remove any metal, and to make that like better. Okay, so that is done. We're gonna go ahead and do the Nanohone 200 grit. I know for a lot of you commercial knife sharpeners / chefs who were in the restaurant, this was like a super fast sharpening. I mean, holy mackerel. So the $10 more Nanohone with 5mm less thick, that's a little bit wider, sounded quieter, worked just as fast, and right off the bat without the leather, I mean, I will say its performance was just barely more. And it could have been on me. Could have been on me. I did better edge strokes. You know, I'm not going to show favoritism. I don't have a dog in this fight. I'm using the leather with the diamond to really try to make sure these edges are as clean as I can get them. We have a tomato. We can finally do a tomato test on this. Okay. So, thanks, son.
Welcome.
We're going to not use that. Maybe a cutting board, any cutting board. So we're going to be using this Asahi. No, I'm sorry. This is the High Soft. Okay. So we're going to use...
You need a different knife to cut the split off.
Yeah, my wife figured it out. I don't want to like ruin one of the two knives by cutting the bottom. I want it to be evenly fair. The Shun. Let me have the Shun. That one, yep. This is my first nice knife. This is a Shun Sora chef knife. It is never chipped, even though people complain about that. It was like $80. It was amazing. Still have it. It needs to be sharpened probably. I can do that. Okay, we're not testing this knife. Okay. So the Nanohone. Oh, let's go paper first. Paper towel, baby. What's the 200 grit? I mean, my wife's expecting like the most amazing thing.
From leather. I'm saying that.
Well, yeah, but still, it's still a 200. I mean, I didn't expect it to. I mean, it's 200.
Right.
It's 200. Okay, let's go. Now, this 200, who knows, it might bite into this paper towel. We got some cut. I'll keep that same paper towel. Let's see what a 200 can do.
He's a happy boy.
Yeah. Okay. Let's clean our knife.
It's making paper. Let's bring him off.
Let's have some respect. It'll be fine for now. My wife's on it. She really cares. Asking if I need water to get the acidity. I appreciate it. Okay. She's going to give me another paper towel since I'm using this for tomatoes. All right, we're going to Shapton.
See, I feel like that one got better on leather. Yeah.
I don't think that it did the S-curve any better. And I definitely don't think that a 200 is ever going to grab that, okay? I just don't. Paper towel. It's tearing.
Yep.
That's a tear. That's a tear. All right, tomato. So 200 is great for tomatoes. All right. So these decisions have to be made, okay? I'm going to talk this out loud. So, I mean, I need you guys to do the thought process with me. Because, you know, like 75% of your score is just performance. I mean, period. So, we have $10 less, 5 millimeters thicker. These stones' job is chip removal. It's to remove metal, not to give you the sharpest edge. I think that's the key here.
I just have a new battle in my head, sorry.
So
I feel like someone can compete with Green Brick of Joy.
well, I don't even know what you're talking about right now. I'm always bringing up Green Brick of Joy. Well, that's another topic. The goal of the 200 is to remove metal. I'm not siding with either. I mean, I like Japanese stuff. I am American. It's $10 more. We live in a world where $10 doesn't have to be that much. That's like hit or miss if the performance is there. I didn't have a chip to take out, so I don't know how fair this was as far as like taking a chip. It's 5 millimeters wider, but 10 millimeters thinner. It's $10 more than Nanohone. It's 5 millimeters thinner. The other one is $10 less, 5 millimeters thicker for wear and tear. They both took off metal. They both left incredible edge. They both cut tomatoes. They both cut paper. They both had the same S-curve. They both wouldn't do the barrel cut. The Nanohone, listen, my wife's interjecting, and I'm saying this is hard. This is hard because if we're going like which one of these gave me the best edge, but these stones weren't made for that. I mean, the stones were made to remove metal. The person using this is supposed to be going on. The nature of this battle has always been who gives you the best edge when it's done. And so pre-leather, the Nanohone was quieter. The Nanohone did it just as fast. The Nanohone gave me the better edge but is that on my technique? Did Shapton get it wrong? Because it's on my technique, something that the leather correct. So then we did the leather, and the Nanohone still was better. It still had the better edge. I think you guys will have your own winner. I'm going to go Nanohone. I'm going Nanohone. We live in an expensive world. $10 is significant. I do like that the Shapton comes with its own whetstone holder. These are all, 5 millimeters thicker, $10 off in a whetstone holder. It's a lot to give. And that the performance had to make up on the Nanohone. But it just did. Both of them remove metal. And at the end of the day, if I only had one stone, I can literally start doing my job with the Nanohone right now. And the Shapton was like right there. They both cut tomatoes. And ridiculous. I'm going Nanohone on the 200. I expect Shapton to really show up. And this was not the glass series. This is I always say this wrong. This is like Kuromaku. I think that's the name. I think that's how you say it. Oh, is it right on here?
Mm-hmm. It is.
There you go. Kuromaku. Okay, this is the Kuromaku series. This is one of their highest professional series. Nano only has one series, but today, this wasn't the Shapton glass, but today, the Shapton Kuromaku 220 versus the Nanohone 200. I'm giving it Nanohone. I don't care about the $10. I care about performance. Nanohone's the winner. Listen, that was awesome. The knives are in great shape right now. I'm going to go ahead and get my wife right now to pan over here real fast, and let me just show you some of the battles that are coming up. The next battle we have coming up, we've already got ready. It's another Nanohone. It's back-to-back, but it's the 400 class, and so Nanohone makes a 400. The Kramer 400, you have not seen Kramer yet in this series. The Kramer stones are made by Naniwa. Well, they were Sora, and so anyway, we got some 400. But if you look around here, we have out of Germany, my friend Hans. He's got a CBN 800 versus the Japanese natural stone 800. We have the Naniwa Professional 3000 versus the Morihei 3000. Now the 3000 for the Morihei is not the fire side, the fire series. So it's a discontinued stone, but we needed a battle. So over here we have another Japanese natural. This is a Japanese natural stone versus the Shapton. This is going to be the 1000. We've got a Shapton 5000. Oh, look at this battle, folks. Seriously, the Shapton versus the Naniwa. It's going to get serious up in here. We have the Yamanashi 2000 versus the King. The Hyper King 2000. We have a Nanohone. What is this? Is this a 6?
Yep.
This is a Nano versus a King, like the Hyper King 6. Then we have a Hyper King versus Naniwa. We all have our favorites. This is another 1000 battle. We have a Sahiro versus the Morihei. This is battle 8000. We have a Shapton. This is a Shapton glass. 8000 versus the Kitayama. It's going to be really nice. We have Sahiro. This is going to be the 3000 versus the Nanohone 3000. This was going to be interesting battle. This particular stone, I don't even know if I can get it open. This stone is so unique. This is the Morihei. It's the only one they make that's super special. It's got so much natural stone. It's a 9,000 stone going up against an 8,000. I had nothing to pair this 9,000 with. I want to give it a shot. We got the Sahiro versus Japanese natural stone in the 6,000 class. We got a king. What is this? A king 300 versus Japanese natural stone 300. Over here we have a Morihei 1000 versus the Amanashi 1000. That's the Rashiyama. Then this is the Rashiyama 6000 versus the Morihei 6000. This is going to be interesting enough. Check this out. This is going to be Naniwa versus Naniwa. This is Naniwa diamond, like resin bonded diamond versus the Naniwa professional. Battle amongst itself. Then we got the diamond versus the Nanohone. This is going to be Battle 1000. Then over here we have a circuit going on.
Circuit.
We have this king is involved with the 8,000s over here. Okay, so we got a bunch of 8,000s going on. And then we're going to pick some winners, and then this has got to go up against that. And then we have Battle 2K. Another Battle 2K. All right, so let's not even forget that after all that's done, we got winners versus winners. I mean, we got battles. It's going on for a long time. So I really appreciate you guys. Hopefully this was not a dull moment. We're going to see you guys on Friday night. Sometimes we give you those nuggets on Tuesdays. As always, Happy New Year right now. God bless. We're out.